WWE's annual Royal Rumble pay-per-view is just 3 weeks away, and so far, WWE have confirmed 19 participants for the Men's Royal Rumble. They are as follows: R-Truth, Drew McIntyre, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Jeff Hardy, Dean Ambrose, Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, John Cena, Elias, Baron Corbin, Jinder Mahal, Apollo Crews, Andrade Cien Almas, Rey Mysterio, and Mustafa Ali. However, as you know, the Royal Rumble holds 30 participants in total, so that leaves 11 wrestlers that could still be added to the Rumble match. Who could they be? Well, let's waste no further time and get into number 1, EC3. WWE announced during their shake-up on Raw at the end of last year that 6 NXT wrestlers will be making their main roster debut soon. Sadly, we didn't know that this would include showcasing them on WWE's B Show, The Main Event. The former Impact Grand Champion wrestled a match against Kurt Hawkins, and whilst he thankfully won the match, we assumed WWE would have had bigger plans to introduce the former champion onto either Raw or SmackDown. Still, WWE could rectify this by having EC3 participate in the Royal Rumble, and whilst he's probably nowhere near at the top of WWE's big push list of winning the Rumble, he could offer a decent showing by eliminating a number of superstars. Number 2. Lars Sullivan. The monster from NXT has been one of the most hyped wrestlers to make a main roster debut in 2018, as vignettes of Lars Sullivan coming soon have been airing on WWE ever since last year's Survivor Series pay-per-view, but surprisingly WWE still haven't unleashed him on either brand. Now, this could be due to Vince going back to his original plans of having Sullivan debut at the Royal Rumble. Bryan Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer mentioned that his video package teasing a main roster debut wasn't supposed to air until after the TLC pay-per-view to hype his appearance for the Royal Rumble, but Vince decided to fast-track it instead. Sullivan would have then confirmed his choice of brand in the Royal Rumble. This sounds like the best idea for a debut, and let's hope WWE rolls with it in the end. Number 3. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt seems to have taken a short break from wrestling after his partner Matt Hardy also took some necessary time off. Oddly, he returned for a few matches at house shows, including an untelevised match at the Starrcade event in November, defeating Baron Corbin in a no DQ match. Since then, the Eater of the Worlds has gone back into hiding. Bringing back Wyatt on just an everyday episode of Raw wouldn't do him any justice. He should make his televised return at the Royal Rumble. Number 4. Shinsuke Nakamura. Whilst the artist was recently defeated by the Bulgarian Brute, ending his 156-day reign as United States Champion, there's a good chance that he'll get a rematch at the Royal Rumble, as WWE has continued their ongoing feud on SmackDown Live. However, Shinsuke could pull double duty, fighting back for his championship and then entering the Royal Rumble. Number 5. Randy Orton. Randy Orton is one wrestler on the current roster that probably has the most experience in a Rumble. This isn't surprising as he's entered a total of 9 Rumbles and is a 2-time winner. Whilst the Apex Predator doesn't really need to enter another Royal Rumble, as it could be given to a spot more deserving of a chance to debut, it's certain he will be added in the hopes of adding a little more star power into it. Number 6. Kevin Owens. After suffering an injury on Monday Night Raw in October in a match against Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens has been on the sidelines recovering from double knee surgery. Owens wasn't expected back until early March, but that could have changed as Owens has recuperated from the surgery much faster than expected and could be back in time to make a surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble. Number 7. Titus O'Neil. He gave us the greatest blooper in probably WWE history at the Greatest Royal Rumble, as Titus managed to trip and slide and end up under the ring as he entered the Rumble. WWE has to top it, and the best way they could probably do this is if he tripped in the ring, accidentally eliminating himself. Number 8. Sami Zayn. Many people were unaware at the time, but during Zayn's match against Bobby Lashley at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, he was working injured. In fact, he was injured quite some time before that, as he believed he suffered the injury during a Montreal live event and was wrestling with a bad shoulder ever since. Sami Zayn had completed double shoulder surgery last August, but like Kevin Owens, he is expected to return at the same time and could be a late entrant into the Rumble. Number 9. Kurt Angle. Now that the McMahons have done away with any general managers and any other on-air authority members, Kurt Angle will have a bit of free time on his hands. Obviously, due to his history of neck injuries, he won't be making a full-time return to the ring, but he has proved he can handle it part-time, wrestling a handful of matches throughout 2018 and more recently getting his own back on Baron Corbin on Raw, defeating him in a match. Angle even teased entering the Rumble on his Instagram page, where he surprisingly put up a photo of him against Chris Benoit from the 2003 Rumble with a caption that reads, "Up next, Royal Rumble in January 2019, and then telling of how this match was one of the best performances of his career. It's highly unlikely Angle will be the Iron Man of the match or win it, but it would be great to see him return to an official Rumble, something he hasn't done since 2005. Discounting the greatest Royal Rumble, of course. Number 10. The Big Show. Whilst The Big Show has come close to winning on several occasions, being the last to be eliminated, surprisingly, he's never won a Rumble. Due to his size and strength in the ring, The Big Show has always been a favourite in the Rumble to win it, but it might be too late now as The Big Show has entered semi-retirement, but it could be a surprise entrant, giving it one last go. And number 11. The Undertaker. 2019 could sadly be the last year we see the Phenom in a Rumble or even in the ring. Yes, every year the same rumours flood the internet that this will be Taker's last year, but something tells us that this year will be his last year in the ring. We haven't seen the dead man in the ring since the Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia, and though we know WWE saves his appearances to hype big shows, the Rumble is considered the second biggest show of the year, so there is hope he can enter. What do you guys think? Who would you like to see as the last 11 remaining participants in the Royal Rumble this year? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.